What if one of the most legendary cars in automotive history suddenly returned, not as a museum piece, but as a futuristic car built for the roads of 2027? Imagine seeing the famous Ford Model T name on a brand new vehicle, combining the unmistakable spirit of the original with electric power, advanced technology, modern safety, and a design that could turn heads everywhere. The idea sounds unbelievable, but that's exactly what makes a modern 2027 Ford Model T so fascinating. The original Model T didn't simply become a successful car. It transformed the entire automobile industry. It helped make personal transportation accessible to millions of people and became a symbol of innovation, practicality, and mass production. More than a century later, the question is simple: what would the Model T look like if Ford redesigned it for the modern world? A futuristic 2027 interpretation could start with a design that carefully balances heritage and technology. Instead of copying the tall, boxy shape of the original, the new Model T could feature a sleek aerodynamic body, a low roofline, sculpted sides, modern wheels, and distinctive LED headlights. At the front, Ford could create a modern interpretation of the classic Model T grille, giving the vehicle an instantly recognizable identity. The lighting could become one of its most impressive visual features. Thin LED daytime running lights could stretch across the front, while advanced matrix headlights could automatically adjust their beam depending on traffic and road conditions. At the rear, a full-width LED light signature could give the car a futuristic appearance after dark. But the biggest transformation could happen inside. Forget the simple interior of the original Model T. A modern version could feature a minimalist digital cockpit with a large central touchscreen, a digital instrument display, wireless smartphone connectivity, voice controls, navigation, and over-the-air software updates. The cabin could combine modern materials with subtle vintage-inspired details, creating an environment that feels like a meeting point between Ford's past and future. Comfort could also become a major priority. Supportive seats, improved sound insulation, automatic climate control, wireless charging, USB-C ports, and a spacious cabin could make the modern Model T suitable for everyday driving. Higher versions could potentially add premium upholstery, a panoramic glass roof, upgraded audio, and additional convenience features. Now comes the question that could define the entire vehicle: power. If Ford wanted the Model T to represent the future, an electric powertrain would make a lot of sense. An electric motor could deliver instant torque, smooth acceleration, and quiet operation while reducing the complexity of a traditional combustion engine. A modern battery platform could also provide practical driving range for daily commuting and longer journeys. A hybrid version could be another possibility, especially for drivers who prioritize long-distance flexibility. But whatever powertrain Ford might choose, the philosophy should remain similar to the original: straightforward, dependable, and practical. Performance wouldn't necessarily need to be extreme. The modern Model T could focus on efficiency and everyday usability rather than trying to compete with high-performance sports cars. Instant electric torque, precise steering, responsive handling, and a comfortable suspension could create an enjoyable driving experience without sacrificing practicality. Safety would obviously be far more advanced than anything available in the early 20th century. A futuristic Model T could potentially feature automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assistance, blind spot monitoring, traffic sign recognition, parking assistance, and advanced collision warning systems. And there's another important part of the Model T legacy: accessibility. The original became revolutionary because it helped make car ownership possible for ordinary families. If Ford ever revived the Model T name, pricing could become just as important as design and technology. A modern Model T would need to deliver enough value to stand out in an extremely competitive automotive market. Of course, there is an important distinction to make. A production 2027 Ford Model T has not been officially confirmed simply because concept images, speculative reports, or online discussions suggest its return. Much of what we see surrounding a modern Model T is currently imagination and automotive speculation. But that doesn't make the idea any less exciting. Imagine the reaction if Ford actually introduced it. A name that once represented the beginning of mass automobile ownership could return as a symbol of the next generation of transportation. The challenge would be enormous. Ford would have to preserve the Model T's identity without simply copying an old design. It would need to respect history while delivering everything modern drivers expect: safety, efficiency, technology, comfort, reliability, and practicality. And perhaps that's exactly why a 2027 Ford Model T revival would be so interesting. It wouldn't just be another new car. It would be a conversation between automotive history and the future. So, if Ford really brought back the Model T, would you choose an all-electric version, a hybrid, or a gasoline-powered model? Tell us your choice in the comments, and subscribe for more future vehicles, concept cars, and automotive reveals.